Studios are designed to make money. It's their main goal over everything else. One of the ways they do this is by re-releasing their films, sometimes with a new twist in order to bring back viewers who've seen the original and want to watch it again. One of these twists, and the one I'm going to be talking about, is black and white re-releases. I'm going to run through 3 of them today. I'm going to tell you if their existence is worthwhile or if they're just more junk for the sale outlet target. I'll also compare these black and white releases with their original counterparts to work out if they could possibly be better than the original, or if the original just simply does it better no matter what. I thought I'd start off with the queen of film variants, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Justice's Great Edition. A name so long it fits the girth of this film. Originally, Snyder apparently wanted Justice League to be in black and white, but Warner Bros. Said he couldn't. So he eventually came back to create his version of Justice League. Alongside its release, he gave a black and white version on streaming services, and it also got a theatrical release. This version does benefit the film in that everything looks more elegant and beautiful. The black and white also does complement the world, the story, and the characters, like Superman's black suit. One of the things I really do like about this is the silhouette it can create of all the characters, even Aquaman, who's just kind of a shirtless man with long hair in this. I think what it does is it allows it to feel more like a comic book. You know, the black and white feels like sketch marks, and the silhouettes are used a lot in comics because you're working in a 2D form. You've got to try and, make the shots more interesting, so you see stuff like Batman Year One. You've got Batman a lot of the times, you don't really see his costume, you just see that silhouette, that pure black outline of Batman to really make him feel, hidden in the shadows and a lot more interesting. While I do think the darker atmospheres black and white version creates does complement the film very well. It's a world where Superman's died, that everyone believes all hope is lost, but I feel like it's kind of unnecessary. See, the original Justice League is already a very dark film, and I feel the bits of colour you do get in that from the heroes is that bit of hope shining through what the Justice League represents, that people can make a difference and can save the world even in its darkest time. Don't get me wrong, I do really prefer this darker tone of the film. Like, in general, the original saturation of Justice League is something I hated, and then Zack Snyder makes his own, he makes it dark, it makes it a lot better, I feel. But I do feel this black and white, I think maybe pushes it too far. The uniqueness is kind of lost. It's, I don't think it's really much different from the original theatrical release in order to really warrant its existence beyond just getting more streaming hours up on HBO Max. I think to evaluate this film overall, this version of the film overall, I think it does create this unique viewing experience if you've already seen Justice League and maybe you want to sit through the whole 4 hours again. I think watching black and white is a good idea. It gives you a whole new viewing experience, which is something I really like about black and white films. It gives you a reason to watch a film again and maybe, experience it differently than you did in theatres. However, I think I would be lying to you if I did say I feel this version is unnecessary. You can live your whole life without watching it. You won't really be missing out on much of this version of the film. I'm now going to pivot to a more recent black and white film that has quickly become what I'd say is probably my favourite black and white re-release, with Godzilla -1 minus color. This, as I'm recording, just came out on Netflix after releasing originally in Japan in theaters, and I do really think it creates a completely unique viewing experience that I kind of think is better than the original. From the start of this film, with Godzilla's first appearance on, I think it's Odo Island or something, it really sets this tone of you're not watching the same film, and it's kind of more grim, depressing, and the black sky, I think is the best way to view it. The black sky, not only does it make Godzilla feel more imposing because he is just sticking out against the black background, you really are focusing on all his detail, all his terror, and I think it kind of immerses you more in the film. You feel like you're one of those mechanics about to get bitten and thrown. I do think this version of the film kind of makes me feel like I'm watching an old Victorian England type film. Even something like My Fair Lady, a very different film. You get these, dark colors and everything's grey, and the smoke depressingness of the time is really shown through. It really immerses you in that 1940s period of post-war Japan. I think the black and white also hides the fact that this feels like the original Godzilla film from, I think, 1952. There's a lot of effort put into making this feel like a very vintage film. I mean, obviously the black and white makes it feel like it's made in that 40s, 50s period, but also the corners of the screens are slightly darkened to try and make the picture quality, I guess, it's a way of making it look less, high quality as it is today, while still not damaging the quality of the film. Also, one other thing I really didn't think I would like is Godzilla's atomic breath. In this version, it's blinding white light, like how it appears in the original black and white film. I originally thought I wouldn't like this, because I believe the director said the idea was to just make everything black and white and highlight Godzilla's blue atomic breath. When I heard that, I thought that sounds really entertaining. I thought that would have been really cool, but they decided to go against it. But then when I was watching the film and his atomic breath came up, I hadn't seen what it was going to look like, and it just, really made me feel like I'm watching that original film, but a modern version of it. And I think it's really good. I think it's better than the blue atomic breath in the original, or even just they made it black and white and highlighted it. One thing I think this black and white release also does really well is in the environment. It feels more cold, and one of my really favorite parts of this version is the oceans. They spend a lot of the time of the film in it. The start, it's just this pure black abyss, and they're driving through on a small boat, getting rid of mines, and it kind of makes it feel more of a scary area to be in. And then when Godzilla starts showing up, it's really, terrifying in a way. Speaking of Godzilla, one of my issues with the original, I wasn't really a big fan of the design. I think it was kind of generic, I guess, but in this version it made me really like it, because the black and white kind of makes Godzilla seamlessly transition into his environment. He looks more real, which is, incredible, especially since how great these visual effects are. They definitely earned that Oscar, but I think it makes them a lot more scary, makes them, a lot cooler to look at as well, especially one of the small things is his eyes. They really kind of stand out in this version. Truly, I don't think I can really criticize the black and white version of this film in any way. I definitely recommend you watch it for yourself. You may find you like it more than the original. You may find it, same as the original. To me, I think it does improve on a lot of things of the original, and even if you end up hating it, it is definitely a brilliant new way of viewing the film. It changes so much about it that I think makes it really special. So yeah, definitely should exist. Definitely you should watch it if you can. It's on Netflix in most countries now. For my final point, I'm going to pivot to something different. I think it's very interesting and very different talking point, that being Mad Max Fury Road Black and Chrome Edition. Black and Chrome Edition is one of those films that was made because the director, when making it, really wanted to make a black and white film, but studios don't really want that. Yeah. But they ended up eventually making it as a separate release afterwards. I bought the Blu-ray of it a bit ago. I've got it there. I think one of the first things you're going to notice is the title. It's black and chrome. It really makes it evident by the metallic look of the way it's titled. And I think you can really see this black and chrome in the film. Instead of just whites, it's this really shiny and harsh, metallic color. What this does is, when you got all the vehicles in the film, they look a lot more, I guess, intense and heavy, and then you compare that to the environment, which now looks extremely beautiful. It's kind of soft and majestic looking, I guess. Together, these two things really make the world look beautiful, which is, I guess a very hard thing to do when you're removing all color from it. It really does look the best during the first two action sequences, going through the sandstorm and everything. The world does look really cool because you're really getting a look at the environment in those sections of the film, and it really shows you everything it's got. While I do think in the first action sequences it does look really good, the issue I have with this version of the film is come to the end, that last action sequence. I feel because it's filmed with a lot more tighter focus on the action, you lose the environment beauty that those two things need to complement each other, that made the black and chrome look good. And I think everything kind of gets muddled when you're watching that final bit in all the black and white, which is surprising since, how well the editing is regarded of this film, how it can keep you focused in the action. I do feel black and chrome kind of pulls you out of it a bit. In comparison to the theatrical version of Mad Max Fury Road, the environment's really vibrant and I guess very original and unique. Goal is to make the audience, us, we always see apocalypse films and they always make it all desaturated to create this hopeless look with the visuals. However, in this world, they're stuck with nothing, but they are trying to make everything look as beautiful as possible with what they've got. And I do feel that that's beautifully shown in the original consistently throughout the whole thing, but then you get to black and chrome version, I feel you kind of lose that beauty near the end, and stuff like, I think the Citadel doesn't look as good because in the film it's got those bits of green. There's no real substitution for that in the black and chrome version. Overall, while the black and chrome version does create a extremely unique viewing experience, I think the issue is it's going up against one of the most unique films we've seen in a long time, and it just can't compete with the vibrancy of the original, no matter what it did. It's also leads into a wider issue I think there is with a lot of these black and white releases, in that these films are being filmed in color with the belief in color, and I guess black and white is kind of an idea, but it's not really put into motion until after the film's already been shot. So you're working with footage that's not designed for black and white, so it kind of can't hit as well as I think it would have if, say, Mad Max Fury Road was filmed to be in the black and chrome view originally. I do think films can get past this, like going back to Godzilla -1. In the original version, color, while the color is still good, it's not really a focus of the story. It's not like Fury Road where the color of the world is like a character in the film. So when you get black and white Godzilla -1, it's essentially making color an important part of a film when it's not originally, which then adds to the overall value of the film. As you can see from all of these examples, black and white releases create a new unique version of watching the films that you love. And I do think they're great releases for a lot of things if they are done well. But the issue is they can create new issues that the original version didn't have because of the optimization issues, even if, you spend millions of dollars making a new version of the film. However, as I've been talking about the issue of these films, like it's also an issue with this video, I've only kind of gone over 3 examples. I do think they're very varied. You got your big budget Justice League, you got low budget in Godzilla -1, and you've got a kind of very different approach to black and chrome and Fury Road. But I could do more of these if you want. Especially, I think Furiosa will be very interesting to look at. That recently got a black and chrome release, and possibly they've learned from the issues with the original black and chromes. Maybe it was filmed better, and I think it'd be very interesting to look at if you want. Another thing that's very interesting topic, which I might go over another time, is the inverse, putting a black and white film into color. There's issues with that, and I think a good example, going over a recent one, is Marvel's Werewolf by Night in color. I do have a lot of opinions I could say about that, which I might get to one day if you're interested. That's about everything I want to go over in this. Feel free to hate my opinions. It's your right to as a person. But if you want to hear me talk about another film, I know there's a lot of black and white releases. I recently learned while I was researching for this that Logan had a black and white release. That may be better. I've not seen it. But feel free to tell me if you want more videos of this, or if you want me to cover something specific. Anyway, see you later. Have a good day, good night, whatever. Look at this level of production quality. We got the black and white colors and one of the films I'm talking about in the background. Isn't that just like, oh, so good.